Hey friends, in today's video, we will be discussing 5 easy steps you should take when you are given your IELTS speaking part 2 section that will help you speak for a full 2 minutes. First, I will go into detail about each step, then we will go through an example question together using these steps. So for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm a certified English language teacher in Canada. In the IELTS speaking part 2 section, you will be given a list of questions where you will be required to speak for a full 2 minutes. However, when the examiner hands you the questions, he will give you 1 minute to prepare your answer. So it is very important that you take advantage of this 1 minute you are given to brainstorm ideas on what you are going to say. If you are not sure how to outline or how to brainstorm ideas, check out my video up above. So the first step is, once you are given the questions, you need to start preparing your outline. And in your outline, you need to make sure that if you are given 4 questions, you write 3 to 4 points about each question you are given. Guys, this is very important because this will help you speak for a full 2 minutes. So now that you've learned about step 1, we are going to implement step 1 for this particular question. So the question we are looking at for the IELTS speaking part 2 section that you may get is, describe your favorite picture. Who took the picture? Where was it taken? What can you see from the picture? And why was this picture something you liked? So as I mentioned, preparing an outline for the IELTS speaking part 2 question is essential in order to score a high band and to make the best time out of that 1 minute the examiner is giving you to prepare your answer. So let's look at the outline that I prepared for the question that you just saw earlier. So for the questions we were given, we are required to answer 5 questions in those list of questions that we were given. So the first question, we need to describe our favorite picture, which is the introduction of your 2-minute discussion for the IELTS speaking part 2 section. Then we need to discuss who took the picture, where it was taken, and what can you see from the picture happening. And then, why do you like this picture? So for the first question, I quickly jotted down that this picture was a photo of mom and dad at my wedding. It was a funny moment, something to remember. The second question asks, who took the picture? Father was going to take it last minute, brother during cake cutting. Then next is where it was taken. At the banquet hall, wedding reception, Toronto, cake table. Number 4, the fourth question was, what can you see from the picture? Father trying to feed me chocolate cake, but the cake fell on my dress. Mom trying to clean my dress, huge smudge on my dress. Number 5, why do you like this picture? Memorable moment, sentimental day, was not upset, a picture to remember. So as you see, guys, for each question, I made sure I jotted down 3 to 4 points, because each point that has been written here in italic form will be said in 1 sentence. So each question, as I mentioned, you should speak for 4 full sentences in order to allow you to speak for a full 2 minutes. So step 2 is, in the process of brainstorming your ideas in that 1 minute, think about how you are going to introduce the topic and think about how you are going to conclude your discussion, because you don't want the examiner thinking, are you done speaking or are you not done? So you need to make sure that you have a smooth transition between your answers and your concluding sentence. So let's refer back to the outline again. So in the outline, I wrote a few points that I am going to include in my introduction and in my conclusion in order to ensure that I could complete this 2-minute discussion on time and not get stopped halfway while I'm thinking about my points. So the first is the introduction, which I'm going to discuss that this was a photo of my mom and dad at my wedding, funny moments, something to remember. And then in the conclusion, I will conclude my discussion by saying I was not upset and this was a picture to remember. So as you see, I didn't even write lots of words, just 1 to 2 words, reminding myself what I'm going to say in the introduction and the conclusion. If you want to know how you can sound like a native speaker and how you can introduce your topic and conclude your topic, check out my video up above. Step 3 is that when you are about to speak before your conversation, you have to mentally tell yourself that you are going to answer each question that you are given in 4 sentences. You should aim for 3 to 4 sentences max, because this will help you fill in the gaps of you being able to complete your discussion in exactly 2 minutes, guys. So just remember that you have to speak for a full 2 minutes, so you must be able to answer each question in 4 sentences. So just to refer back to the outline, in the outline, as you see, I have jotted down 3 to 4 points for each question, because I know that I have to speak for 4 sentences about each question that was provided in the IELTS Speaking Part 2 section. So in order to speak for a full 2 sentences, you need to have lots of ideas to continuously speak about that particular question. Let's talk about step 4. Step 4 you may think is a little bit funny, but you know what? If this is going to help you speak for a full 2 minutes, then go for it. So as I mentioned in step 3, you should prepare to speak for 4 sentences for each given question. So step 4 is that try to count on your fingers while you are talking, so you are able to keep track of what you are saying and move on to the next question. Step 5 is that you should use vocabulary that's related to the given topic. The reason why is you want to be able to show the examiner that you are able to speak like a native English speaker, and that you are able to pull out words that's related to the context that you are talking about. So let's look at some vocabulary words that relate to the given context that we are going to discuss in our answer that will help us score a high band. So these red fonts are something like funny moment, something to remember, at the banquet hall, memorable moment, sentimental day, a picture to remember. These are certain vocabulary words that we are going to discuss in our IELTS Speaking Part 2 question to score a high band. So guys, if you are not sure what type of vocabulary words that you can use, then check out my video up above. So now we are going to set a timer for 2 minutes to see if we could answer the IELTS Speaking Part 2 question in a full 2 minutes. Before I set the 2-minute timer, I just wanted to let you know the words that are bolded are the words that we have included in our outline, since these are words that we should be discussing in our answer. So have a look at the bolded words while I'm reading the text, just so you get an idea of how the outline connects to the answer for the IELTS Speaking Part 2 question. I'll never forget the most amusing photo taken of my mom and dad at my wedding. The photographer had captured this moment perfectly, especially because the incident that happened at that moment was definitely something to remember. The funny thing was, my father was actually originally taking the photo of my mom and brother while I was cutting the cake. But then my brother called my father last minute to get in the photo while he stepped out. So my brother ended up taking the photo of my parents and me. So my brother takes a photo of me cutting the cake. Where we had our wedding was at the most gorgeous banquet hall called Paradise Banquets. My wedding reception was very formal and in the evening, which was located north of Toronto. The waiter had put the cake on a cake table located in the reception hall, and the space was a bit narrow, so it was hard to move around. So my father was trying to feed me a piece of chocolate cake that I cut when a big piece of cake fell on my dress and the photographer snapped the photo at the perfect moment. It's because my mom was trying to clean my dress in the photo, but you see a huge stain on my dress in the picture. The picture is such a humorous and memorable moment, especially because my wedding was such a sentimental day. The funny thing was, I was not upset at all when the incident happened. Honestly, it's definitely a picture to remember and to have a good laugh about. At least now we have something to look back on every time we want to remember my wedding day. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel because I put out content every Friday to help you on all the different parts of the IELTS exam. Also, please check out my website at eslwords.com where I've written lots of different articles on the different parts of the IELTS exam. And last but not least, guys, before I sign off, I'm going to leave you with this video here on how you can outline and brainstorm your ideas in that 1 minute the examiner gives you.